Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Vuyst is calling it a career. The Flowerland Show has been on the airwaves for nearly 30 years, and this past Saturday was their final show. Rick has also been a staple in the gardening community here in West Michigan with his role at Flowerland. Now is taking a step back. Good morning, folks. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Laster here from the Wood TV Live Desk. Joining me this Tuesday morning, the man himself, Rick Vuyst. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Luke.
So, host, author, gardening enthusiast, your last show here this past Saturday, I asked you here a short time ago off camera, but how are you feeling?
I feel strange. I'm in a fog. I mean, I've been with Flowerland for 46 years. I'm leaving Flowerland, and the Flowerland Show, almost 30 years, Luke, so that's over 1,500 shows. It becomes a part of you, and stepping away from it, I'll be honest, is an odd feeling.
So I guess another question I have is, what are you going to do with your Saturday mornings?
Well, initially, I live near Pier Marquette Beach. I'm going to spend some time on the beach and relax and figure out what's next for me. The show just became a community show, a community event. It was a gathering place for people, myself included, on Saturday mornings, to have coffee, to laugh, to cry, to sing, to talk, to learn. So I'm going to miss it too immensely. So where I go from here, I don't know. I think I'll take a few Saturday mornings to relax.
And just kind of enjoy it.
Yes.
Step back a little bit. Your final show there, I was listening to it a little bit this morning. You had a ton of guests on there. One of them, your daughter as well. How was it to have her there kind of by your side as you wrapped it up?
Just an incredible experience for me. Angie was she was a program director at Wood Radio for a period of time, also engineered and produced our show. So it was a privilege and an honor as a dad to do the show with her, but she's extremely talented. She helped take the show to the next level, along with everyone else, the whole supporting cast of the Flowerland Show, Doug and Christy and Dusty and John Ilk, everybody that was involved was integral in making this a successful show. It's amazing to have a show last for 30 years, and it brings up the point that content really does matter.
Yes. So 1993, that's when the show started, correct?
1993, if you think about it, Bill Clinton was president. I think the Dow Jones closed around 3,500 points. I mean, amazing to think of. Gas, $1.61 a gallon.
Timely. Yes.
So, and also, as I understand it, the software went into public domain for the World Wide Web in that year, in April of 1993. So it's amazing to think all the change that took place from the start, when we were using reel-to-reel tapes and cutting the tape and splicing it in order to edit and produce a show. It was amazing. So yeah, 1993, over 1,500 shows. Started the show with a friend of mine, Hank Prinz, in 1993. And Hank tragically was diagnosed with brain cancer in 1996, passed away June 1st of 1996. And then we decided to continue on the show. I added Doug and Christy, and the rest is history. It's 1,500 shows, and about, if we were to answer 20 questions on air per show, that's over 30,000 questions answered. So I really believe that the show, all the individuals, provided a service to the community, talking about something we all love and we can all relate to: nature, plants, animals, enjoying our yards, and outdoor living.
Take me back to that very first year there with Hank. Now looking here in the year 2022, could you have ever imagined that it would have spanned this long?
Never imagined. I mean, never imagined. And the outpouring the past few days has been unreal. Not only people in West Michigan, but people all over the country. And I think it's because the show was very unique. You could not find anything like that anywhere. And yet what is not unique, and we learned that during the pandemic, biophilia is a word, a phrase that essentially says people need a connection with nature and living things. And it's very true. And I think the show rallied around. Our listeners were fabulous. They would share their Saturday mornings with us with that understanding that biophilia is a true thing that all of us experience. We can relate to and enjoy nature and other living things, and that includes other people, community. And we shared those 2 hours together every Saturday morning and made friends, made memories. And it's so special to me. So looking back 30 years or to when Hank passed away and then continuing on the show, at this point it's kind of surreal to me.
Tell me about some of that feedback and some of that outpouring that you have received here over the past several days or several weeks, kind of leading up to this past Saturday.
Well, it really struck me that when we did the grand finale show this past Saturday and the few days prior to it, and when we posted out on social media also that I would be leaving Flowerland and leaving the show, how significant that program was to a lot of people. When on a Saturday morning, if they're cutting the grass, washing the car, working around the house, driving, the truck drivers that contacted me and said they made it a habit every Saturday morning to tune in. And I think part of it is we made it entertaining. I always joked that if you haven't killed any plants, you're not trying hard enough. So to give people the confidence to grow some plants, to grow some flowers, and do it in an entertaining way that is, that gives people the permission and the inspiration to give it a try. And be okay with failing, and let's laugh and let's cry together, and then let's learn and let's continue on. The show was no different than a garden path. Every garden path comes to an end, but every end has its lesson. And there were a lot of lessons learned during the close to 30 years of the Flowerland show.
I want to hone in specifically on the Flowerland show and then on Flowerland itself. What is one thing, we'll start with the show itself, a very targeted question here. What is one thing specifically that you will miss the most about the show? We'll start with the Flowerland show.
No question, the people and the interaction with our listeners. I mean, the show was unique in today's digital age where people could pick up a phone. I always said you don't need a green thumb, any finger will do, just dial it up. And they could pick up a phone and talk to us. And individuals learned, as well as ourselves, we learned that we're all in this together. Whether it's trying to get a hydrangea to bloom or some of the struggles we all face on a daily basis, we're in this together. And when you understand that and you learn together and you grow together, that makes a huge impact. And that made a huge impact for me. Content, community are so important.
And then same question, but with Flowerland itself.
With Flowerland, I had the opportunity to grow and learn through the years, had the opportunity to be CEO for a period of time. You invest 46 years into a retail garden center. Boy, you have a lot of experiences and a lot of stories. But again, this past weekend, had a number of former employees from, let's say, 20 years ago stop by and say, hey, I heard the news, you're leaving, and I heard the news, the Flowerland show is ending. And we would stand there and laugh and in some cases cry. But these individuals said, it gave me the opportunity to learn business, to learn how to interact with people. And now look at me, I own my own business. That is incredibly rewarding. So again, it goes back to relationships and community.
Taking a look at some of our comments here, we are streaming on Facebook, just a few of them pouring in saying congratulations. Pamela, best of luck in retirement, Rick. You will love retirement, especially on Saturday and Sunday. Annette saying you will be missed. Congratulations on your next venture. Pete, enjoyed the show. Congratulations, Rick. So just a lot of support here coming in as well. Talking again about those next steps, let's talk, immediately here in the next few months. You mentioned Art Prize.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I am not the type of person to sit around I'm always busy. I'm active. I'm thankful that I have my health. I'm going to be 63 in November, but I feel like I've got a ton of energy and a lot to contribute, so I'm looking forward to doing a variety of things. Just not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but one thing I do know, Luke, is that, yes, I will be in Art Prize this fall. I've been accepted as an artist. I love photography. I live along the lakeshore, and speaking of social media, I've had a lot of people who have, through the years said, you need to enter Art Prize. Well, I was so busy with the Flowerland show, and with Flowerland, it wasn't easy to do. Now I have that opportunity. So this September and October, my photography of the erosion of 2019 and 2020 along the lakeshore, which was incredible to watch and to experience. As the dunes would collapse, it almost looked like an archaeologist was in there discovering lost cities, ancient cities, and the photographs were unreal. And I couldn't say to people, hey, come on down and see this, because a half hour later it would be gone.
Right.
So I captured those in a series of photographs, and I will be exhibiting at the Hyatt downtown this fall for Art Prize. So I'm excited about it.
Very nice. Rick, I appreciate you taking the time here to chat. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, anything else that you'd like to put out there?
Well, I want to share that there is an unbelievable connection between people and plants. And in the third book that I wrote, I expressed that plants throughout history have changed the course of history. And I demonstrate a variety of ways that has occurred. But not pitching my book, I'm simply saying that we are very much connected to plants, having our hands in the dirt and nature. And as I mentioned earlier, have a need for community, especially local community, and uplifting stories. And to understand that we're in this together. And I think that's what made it all work. It's not about me, it's about everyone, our community, and how we're connected that way, and we need that in our lives today more than ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you tuned in maybe halfway through the stream or just now clicking in, and you're watching on Facebook, there's a link attached, takes you over to woodtv.com. Our full conversation can be found right there. Rick, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a look at the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm News 8 Digital anchor Luke Laster. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you around.